If you like this video, click like. If you want to continue to follow our adventure, hit subscribe. Your support would be greatly appreciated. Hello, Lows on the Road subscribers and followers. Well, as most of you know, we're in Missouri, living in our pop-up camper, and we have been making a series of videos discussing the cold weather. And and I keep informing everybody that this is going a lot better than I ever expected. I mean, I can't imagine, I could not imagine, and I'm sure you can't imagine how you heat a pop-up camper in wintertime. And I really thought this was going to be a challenge. I mean, it was one of my biggest complaints to Carolyn when she said that we had to come back up here. I just did not know how to make this work. I just could not imagine how we were going to do it without spending an absolute fortune to make it happen. So what we did was just catch everybody up to speed. Is we were here driveway docking or parking in someone's yard, and he has charged us $150 for electric and water. Which now all of you know that we only stay at free campsites that doesn't have that, so this is kind of a luxury for us. But that being said, it sure has made things a lot easier having that electric. Not so much the water, but the electric definitely. And the reason is we don't have to spend money on propane. And I was gathering that we were going to end up spending, just to be comfortable, probably $12 every 3 or 4 days just in propane cost. Of course, we still have to run the generator, so that would have been another $40. So, I mean, it was going to add up pretty quick. So we bought, I don't know, electric heater. I don't know if you can see it. It's probably that tall, about that wide. It's very small. It was something that you would put underneath your desk at work to keep your feet warm. I mean, I've seen them, lots of people to use those. And that is what we have been using for heat. We were really trying to avoid buying anything. And so what we did was we hung blankets up along the walls of the canvas, on the bunk ends and everything. We only open up one bunk end or the other bunk end, whichever one we're using. Otherwise, we drop a sheet down and that bunk end is no longer being heated. And it has worked out perfectly. I mean, we got this little 1500 watt space heater, blankets around the wall, and that is all we have done. That's it. And it got down to 19 degrees the other day. And I suspected that it would get a little chilly. And I don't know, it did get a little chilly. It got down to 55 degrees in the camper at night while we were sleeping. And, we both have a down blanket. We fold that down blanket in half. That gives us 2 layers of down blanket. And then we just have a regular blanket. That gives us another 2 layers. So we have 4 layers of blanket. We covered up. And at some point during that night, I ended up taking the regular blanket off and just covering up with the down blanket. And I was fine all night long. That little heater kept up just fine at a temperature that was very nice under a down blanket. That was it. That's all we have done. So my suspicions are, even if it got colder, say down to 0, that would get us probably down in the 40s inside the camper. Well, then I still have the propane as an option. I can still use the propane, kick it on, and just, warm it up. And I've talked about in other videos that in the morning when you wake up, it's a little chilly. We make a cup of coffee, a pot of coffee, we put that on the stove. The propane heats the place back up, and the sunlight starts coming through the canvas and kind of warms things up. So the daytime temperature has been really nice. There's only been a couple times that we turn on the propane, and it's only for short little spurts. Just turn it on, half hour later, turn it off. But for the most part, that heater has worked great. Now, let's talk about cost. I figured up the cost of the electric bill. In the state of Missouri, I looked up the cost. I forget what it was, but that doesn't matter. Running that little space heater 24 hours a day for 30 days is going to run $75. Now think about that, $75. How many people pay a $75 heating bill for their house? I didn't. I mean, I remember, paying the heating bill. it was up there at $300 range. The cost has been phenomenally reduced running this little space heater in a pop-up camper. It's absolutely incredible how cheap it is to keep this thing warm. Now let's talk about the shower real quick. The shower, again, not a big deal. We've got this on-demand water heater. I've showed you the videos. I'll put a link to that video right here. The water temperature itself keeps the shower tent warm. You just let it run, and it steams up and becomes very reasonable in there. Now, I think the coldest we had to take a shower in was 36 degrees. So, I mean, and I was still warm in there. I don't know what temperature it would take to actually say, okay, I am not going to take a shower in here now. The other thing we have is we have this little heat lamp my mother gave us. Like the thing you use at McDonald's. They use at McDonald's to heat up, keep the hamburgers warm. Same thing. And boy, I'm telling you, that keeps the upper portion of your body warm. The temperature from the shower water, the heat, and of course you can crank that up when you're not actually under the water and get it, really hot, boiling hot in here, I guess. And it just steams up, keeps you nice and warm in there. So anyway, that's what we've done. We've been very successful with it and very happy with it. I wish I had thought of this years ago, because it's a lot cheaper to live in a pop-up camper than it is to live in a house. So anyway, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Click like if you like the video. And